So as you guys can see by the title, I am back with another video, and with this particular video I wanted this to just be about things that I've learned, things that have really been instilled into my mind as I'm kind of at the halfway point in my 20s. My birthday just passed, and a lot of things have really been put into perspective. I've had a lot of time to really just sort through some of the valuable lessons I've learned and some of the things that I feel like are helping me navigate this period in my life. And of course, I wanted to share that with you guys. Here goes just 5 things that I feel like is essential for anyone to know in their 20s. All right, and just a quick disclaimer, I do got my notes. I like to get off topic, so I got my notes to keep this video structured. So if I'm looking down, that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at my notes here. But the first thing I wanted to share is the simple fact that people will disappoint you, and not just regular people, but people who are really important to you, like family, friends, colleagues, your coach, a doctor, whoever it may be. Count on them to disappoint you at some point or another. I just feel like we're in a day and time where it's just like, oh, you did this wrong thing, you did this thing I didn't like, oh, I'm cutting you off, we're going no contact, and there's just no point in even trying to salvage the relationship. And that's just a crazy way of thinking, because I just feel like if you carry that energy around, you're just gonna end up lonely and miserable. Because it's like my family, my own family, they get on my nerves sometimes, and I'm sure I get on their nerves, but I can't imagine just like cutting them off or treating them a certain type of way because they did something I didn't like, or they did something that I consider to be disappointing. It's just, we're all imperfect, we're all moving through life in different ways, and some areas we may need a little bit more patience, but in needing patience, that gives room for disappointment. So obviously you don't want people to disappoint you over and over and over again, because then there's an issue. But if somebody maybe raises their voice one time, maybe they forget to send that happy birthday text, maybe just chill out a little bit, give them a chance. People who really love and care about you are going to try to redeem themselves or consistently show you that they love you. The love is going to outweigh the disappointment. So we just got to be patient with people, but at the same time count on them to disappoint you. Also, I just feel like if God can give grace, who are we to think people don't deserve grace? All right, but the next thing, number two, I have energy vampires are real. Let me repeat that. Energy vampires are real. So, we know vampires are creatures of the night. They suck blood to survive. They can't survive in the daylight. So to explain what I'm saying a little bit better, you're going to encounter people in your life who are going to come around when it's convenient for them. They're going to come around like in the nighttime, when it's convenient for them. And they're going to just take your resources. They're going to extract as much from you as they can. They're going to see what you got going on, and they're going to only see how they can benefit. And that's what I would consider to be an energy vampire, someone who comes around and they're only looking to extract from you to make themselves feel better. It's those people, they invite you out and they're just on their phone the whole time. They just want to be in the presence of another person to feel or to not feel lonely. It's those people where they only talk to you to vent. They'll call you and they'll just list a whole bunch of grievances, and they won't ask about you because they don't care. And there's going to be those people who treat you like a prop. You would think that you were on the set of a movie and you only got like 5 seconds to shine or something like that, and then they're done. They discard you when they're done using you. Or for my people of color, maybe you've been in environments where you feel like that token friend. People are only keeping you around to get a laugh or to feel inclusive, and that's what I feel like an energy vampire is, and I just feel like that is something I've come to realize and understand. And the way to identify it is some of those things I've mentioned. Those people who only come around you when it's convenient for them, and you got to watch out for those people. My third thing that I wanted to say, number three, live through your emotions. Now, I do have to say, this is something that I think everyone can benefit from, but I would like to highlight the fact that I think guys struggle with this the most, because I feel like we're taught to just bottle things in and to just keep it pushing, just to move on. And I'm learning that it's important to acknowledge what you're feeling, know that it's valid what you're feeling, and know how to deal with those emotions, because the reality is when you just keep everything to yourself, it only bottles up and it literally prevents you from moving forward in life. It prevents you from having that positive relationship with a spouse, a girlfriend, or even a friend. If you're just always bottling things in and people don't know what's going on, you're not living through your emotions. Even positive emotions, like when you're happy, a lot of people feel like, oh, I don't really have anyone to share this with. I don't have anyone to connect with, and I'm feeling really good about this new job I got. I'm feeling really good about this really cool thing that's happening in my life, but not being able to express that, just it can mess with you. And I just feel like, those times where maybe you feel angry, maybe try to work out or journal. I know that sounds corny, but I think journaling can really help with negative emotions, especially. I've been trying to get into that, and it's just helpful to be able to write things down and think things through. And, I feel like that helps you de-stress a little bit. And then I just feel also being sad, I feel like listening to music can help. And not that it's going to solve, everything, but just figuring out ways to help you deal with emotions is really important. But first, I think acknowledging them and living through them is the key to just being a better human and being better to other people. All right, now we're on number 4. And this is, or what I have is, living day by day is a necessary skill. Living day by day is a necessary skill. And what I mean by that is, I just feel like as we're young, we're just always taught to emphasize the future. We're always taught to focus on that. How can we build to this? How can we build to that? But I don't think a lot of us really learn how to be comfortable in the present. We're always just thinking about getting to something instead of just being where we are. And I just want to say, I think preparation is important, but so is the ability to take in the world around you in the now. Like just having those times where you're out in public and you're just listening, you're people watching, and just those moments where you can slow down and appreciate the things around you can help you de-stress. It can help you not be so hard on yourself. It can help you just chill out a little bit and just realize that things are going to be okay. Things are going to work out. The future isn't everything. I just think it's going to be a less stressful life. Just realizing that the present is what we're given as a gift. Life is a gift that helps us appreciate the present. I hope that makes sense. All right, number 5. This is the last thing. You're not always going to get closure. So this one is the most vulnerable for me, because this is something that I really don't know if I can really get past this, but it's something that I'm acknowledging about myself, and I'm going to try my best to navigate this the best I can. But I've just come to the realization that you're not always going to get closure on things, and specifically for me, I've moved around a lot. I've met a lot of really cool people, and I've had a lot of really good interactions with people, and I often just find myself looking back like, man, like what happened to that person? Why don't we talk anymore? And what's crazy is there was no fallout, there's no drama. It's just like you wake up one day and it's just no contact. And it goes both ways, but it's like when you've gone years without hearing from people, it's kind of like, I don't know. It's like, what do you say? How do you say it? Like, what's there? What's left? And often I just feel like I'm always thinking of like, what did I do? Or, what did I do? What could I have done? But the reality is I'll just never really know. And you can ask, we do have the ability to ask and try to search for closure, but you're just not always going to get it. People won't always be upfront, and sometimes you won't even get a response from people. And that's just something I'm going to have to be okay with. I'm just going to have to live with it. And I don't know if you're someone who's dealing with this same situation where you've met people, it seemed like y'all had something good going on, only you're here in the present, you're here in the now, and it's just like, man, like I don't deal with that person anymore, and I don't really know why. Or maybe it can be, applying for a job or something, and they didn't get back to you at all, or they denied you and they sent you this lengthy email detailing this, and in your head you're just like, well, I really put my best foot forward. I don't know what happened. But that's just the reality of life. We're not always going to get that perfect ending. We're not going to get that perfect like chapter book closing. Some things are just going to cease to exist, and we have to be okay with that. But yeah, I just wanted to get on here and list some things that have really been highlighted as I'm navigating my 20s. And I want to hear from you guys. Is there, even people who may be older or younger, like what's something that you've learned in your current stage where you really feel like this is going to be solid life advice moving on? What's something that has really been highlighted to you as you're navigating different times in your life? But yeah, that's all I got on my mind. I'll see you guys another time.